Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen Cooking.
Excuse me, may I help you?
Well, the people have been demanding a new video, so I thought I would get things started.
That is very true. So for me, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen Cooking. I am so sorry for the delay. It has been a few months. Things are much warmer here in Las Vegas, which has been super great, and my heart is nice and warm because I have met this beautiful dove, Larai. So we have been dating since about my last video, so it's been super great. She's definitely getting me out of my comfort zone. We've been going on a lot of hikes in the Las Vegas wilderness, and even on a hike a few weeks ago, we saw a rattlesnake. We're really having a great time exploring, but another reason for my delay is because Larai is an amazing cook. She's so good in the kitchen, and it's really putting me to shame. And so for today's recipe and today's video, we're going to be making a recipe that is one of my favorites that she's done. And can you tell them what it's called?
It's the Cajun Chicken Bowl.
And it's so delicious. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. You can make it in bulk to feed your family, or if you want to have a bunch of meals for lunch and dinner throughout the week, this is perfect. So as you know, a lot of my meals have been for single people, but now that I'm no longer single, I'm super excited to make this with her. We've been trading recipes back and forth, but I think for this time we're going to cook together. So the first step, as in all videos, is to see what we're working with today. All right, so here we are. We're going to look at our ingredients. So it's very affordable, very cheap. That's one of the great things about this meal is it's so hearty, but it's so affordable. And if you hear clicking feet, that's my other lady friend, Lila. So you'll get to meet her a little bit later, but you can definitely smell the raw chicken. So that's actually going to be our first ingredient is the chicken here. We have 2 chicken breasts. You want to make sure to get those as least fatty as you can. And then we have pinto beans, and we have corn. So a nice fiesta bowl, a combination there. And then, babe, why don't you tell them about what we're working with today as it comes to the seasoning. Thank you. So much seasoning we're working with today and what they're going to need to have on hand.
Okay, we have cayenne pepper, oregano, brown thyme, paprika, and garlic powder.
Excellent. So that cayenne pepper is perfect for that kick. And let me ask you one thing. Is there any vinegar involved in this recipe?
No.
Excellent. So for my OG fans, you know what a disaster my videos have been when it comes to vinegar. So this recipe has no vinegar. And then just to wrap us up really quickly, we have brown rice. That's for your base, as well as the lettuce. That's going to be as well for a base like you do most bowls. And then to wrap us up, we have a lime for some lime juice. You can also do like the lime juice that comes in that green lime bottle. And we have Greek yogurt. So we're going to show you how to combine those and kind of the steps that are coming up, but that's what we're working with today. So the first thing we did was we trimmed some of the fat off the chicken breast. So keep it on that. If that's something you'd like to keep it on, you can cut that off. But now Larai is going to combine some of our seasoning into 2 small bowls because we're going to use that seasoning to sprinkle on top of the chicken. So the first thing we're going to do is 2 teaspoons of paprika. Now I have this cheat sheet because, as you know, if you've been watching my videos, I do a terrible job of telling you the teaspoons or cups that you have to use. And like I said earlier, if you're using vinegar, don't listen to me. All right, so now we're ready for the next one is 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Like I said, that's going to give it the kick. And then after we do that, we're going to do 1 teaspoon of garlic or garlic powder. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of oregano. And then 1 teaspoon of thyme. And then you're going to mix that up and get it all mixed.
Okay, and then we're going to take 1 teaspoon and a half and put it into a separate bowl for the dressing.
Perfect. All right, now that we've created the seasoning, we're going to sprinkle that on top of the chicken first, and then we're going to move it over to the stove or the burners, and we're going to sear it. All right, so now that we've seasoned the chicken, our next step is to take a little bit of oil and put it in your skillet or your pan, and you just simply want to sear the chicken. So just a little bit to lock in that flavor of the seasoning and the juices. And we did season both sides, not just the tops. You want to make sure you're seasoning or searing both sides. You may notice in the shot there's another saucepan with boiling chicken. That's not part of the recipe, that's for Lila. But yeah, so before we get into it, Larai has something to say.
So I just want to tell you that you should open up a window or a back door, because when you're cooking the chicken, the seasoning is so strong that the spices fill up the room.
Perfect. And we would turn on the vent here, but because we're filming, that thing is so loud, it's like a tornado. So that's why we open the window, the sliding door. So yeah, great warning. And so let's get to it. I'm not messing around. That warning, please take heed to that. The dog is coughing, she's coughing, and I'm coughing. So open the window, turn on your vent. That paprika will kick your butt. In the beginning, we should have mentioned, you want to have your oven preheated to 375. Because after we sear the chicken, we're going to put it on a baking sheet, and we're going to throw it in the oven on the middle rack for how long?
For 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. So in that time, you also want to be cooking your rice. With our chicken in the oven and our coughing and the rice on the range, as that gets ready to finish, we're now going to create the sauce that we're going to drizzle on top of the chicken. And so we have a cup of Greek yogurt, we have the reserve seasoning and juice from 1 lime, and I'm missing something, 1 tablespoon of olive oil or vegetable oil. Perfect. So we're going to combine all those in that small bowl that we use for the reserve seasoning. All right, perfect. So let's get to it. We're going to now transfer our chicken to a cutting board, and we're going to cut it up in nice little slices. Now that the chicken is complete and cut, we're now going to put our bowl together. So I'm going to defer to Larai. She'll walk you through it.
Okay, so first you're just going to put the rice. So we're going to put some pinto beans in there. Okay, and then some lettuce on top of that. Okay, and then you're going to put your chicken on top. And some dressing. And voila! You have a Cajun chicken salad.
Boom. All right, so now that that's put together, we will move to the table, and the 3 of us are going to dine like royalty. All right, so here we are. We have our dish ready. As you can see, it's looking very, very good. But before we feast, we're going to give Lila her little chicken bowl. So here you go. Thanks for being patient as we filmed all day. Oh yeah, all right. Now for us, to our taste test, well, she is preoccupied. All right, you go first, love.
Perfection.
That came out really good. She does spicy really well. I like spicy, but I can't handle it for too long. So I'm going to have to eat this fast before it catches up to me. But this has got the perfect amount of kick. The sauce is really creamy. The consistency came out really great. Again, she's a great cook. She's probably going to be leading a lot more of these recipes. But if you have any recommendations, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. But I hope to keep these videos with the 3 of us more consistent. So once again, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of In the Kitchen Cookin'. We'll see you next time.
Bye.